Welcome to another episode of Radio Rays. I got the most famous kicker in the nation right here. Introduce yourself, my guy.
What's up, guys? My name's Lucas Carneiro, kicker here for Ole Miss.
Tell them where you from and everything.
From Charlotte, North Carolina. Was actually born in Boston, but I lived in Charlotte pretty much my whole life.
Lucas. You know you're probably one of the most famous guys in Ole Miss history to go down in that Sugar Bowl. But, you know, we're going to start it off slow today. But tell us about how you got here, how you end up getting here to Ole Miss, man, the journey.
Pretty much going into my season at Western Kentucky, was there for 2.5 years. My last year there, head coach was going to leave, so I kind of threw my name out there just to see what I could get and kind of what options were. My kicking coach came back with some lateral moves, but I figured, hey, if I was going to leave, I'd rather go to a bigger school. And at the time, Oklahoma was an option and pretty much was set to kind of visit there and go there. Then Ole Miss called, and I was like, well, I got to take a visit to Ole Miss. And between those two, I felt Ole Miss was just home and the best place for me to be to kind of mature and continue to develop.
Yeah, you kind of made the right choice to come to Ole Miss, you know. I'm not going to say too much, but speak about your time here. About the city, about the fans and everything about Ole Miss.
I think the fans make this team as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about this atmosphere and how friendly it is, and they treat you as a family. You go out and everyone says hello. No one's really mean to you, and they take you in. And I think that's something I've learned in the 1.5 years I've been here now is it's a true family. And I love the town. My family loves the town, and they're very accepting of all of us.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've grown as a person since you've been here and as a kicker and as a player?
I do. I feel like a lot. I think last year, being here my first year, I was a little nervous when I got here, didn't know anyone, and just tried doing my best to meet everybody because I've learned that's how you build the real connections here. And even outside of football, there's a lot of good connections to have. And I think being here the last 1.5 years has helped me become a better person, and just meeting you guys and being with you guys all the time is just something I love every day.
Yeah, I know. Me and him got a little thing going on. Can't say it on camera. It's just our little thing. I'm just going to keep it at the middle, ball up top. But that's our little thing. And I love having you here, Lucas. Being a kicker, do you ever get nervous when you're out there kicking?
You know, everyone asks me that, especially after that Georgia kick. Everyone's like, oh, were you nervous? And for me, like we were talking when I got here, 90% of it's mental. And I feel like I do a good job every week of meeting with a psychologist and just getting my mind right. So in situations like that, I'm ready to go. And I'm not wandering or my mind's going to places it doesn't need to go. I'm just locked in and ready to go.
You said something about that Georgia kick. Talk us through that Georgia kick, through like the whole coming from the sideline. You knew you had a chance to go out there to win a game. Talk us through that.
You know, so obviously the play, I think, what was it, third down maybe, when they had that throw to Strib, and I was just warming up in case of a situation that we got the first down or even got to half field just for a long field goal. And I was just getting ready. Mindset was focused on kicking in the net and just getting warm, and all I hear is the crowd erupt. And I was like, oh, what just happened? I turn around and Strib's running down the field. I was like, oh, let's go, let's do this.
Yeah.
Kicked into the net one more time and grabbed my helmet and just waited on the sideline to get called on.
When you kicked that ball and you seen it go in, what was your like emotions? Like how you feel? Like did you knew I knew you was gonna make it because I don't never ever see you miss a kick hardly, but just like the emotions through that game and what it meant for you as a player and as a person.
I think I could start from the beginning of that day when we had that team meeting before the bus, when we all started barking in the team room, watching the hype video. I was like, oh, we got this. Like, we're going to win this game. And going to that last kick, I was just confident, and I kind of just blacked out. Like, when I saw that ball go up and it was going in, I just took off. Didn't know what to do. So I just blacked out and kind of emotions took over, and it was just something I'm always going to remember.
You said, like, you just knew it was so crazy because, like, the Thursday walkthroughs, you know how everybody just sit there, like, you know, if you ain't in, sometimes people just sit back there. Y'all just sit there and chit chat. We was like, what's the prediction for the score tomorrow? We was like me and I think it was probably Ant Robinson. No, it was Pat. Pat was like, it's gonna come down to a field goal. He said Lucas is gonna win this for it. I said, you really believe that? I said, I thought we were gonna beat him by 20. I was, just saying. He said, yeah, it's gonna come down to Western. I said, that is crazy. It came down to a kick, and I wouldn't want it in nobody else's hands but yours in that little moment. I trust you 100% every time you go out there. I'm like, yeah, we got 3 right here. That's automatic 3. Just having confidence. I know you, like you were saying, like you gotta have confidence going out there to actually kick the ball, because I know, like, you miss one, you get a little nervous, a little butterflies and stuff, and just especially like in moments like that. So like when you miss a kick and you have to go back out there, like what be your thought process to recoup of like going out there to make up for the next kick?
I talk a lot about like goldfish memory, just forgetting about it. It's obviously frustrating because I'm only out there for one play every 10 minutes, if that, and it just depends on the game and how the game's going. But I want every opportunity I can get, and if I go out there and it doesn't go my way, I've learned I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes. We all do, but in my position, it just shows it a little differently because the light is right on me, and I'm the only one out there. And if I miss, I miss, whatever the situation is. But for me, I think I've done a good job of just being like, hey, it happens, brush it off, and go on to the next kick.
Yeah, because you do got to have a goldfish memory, and use like you saying, like the spotlight, because like you could go out there the whole game, make 40, 50-yarder, 60-yarder kicks, and you miss that one kick to win the game, they'd be like, oh, you suck and woo through this and that, which is not true. I feel like that's kind of messed up as a kicker, because like, you don't get many opportunities as a DB, as a linebacker, or as a quarterback. They could go out there, the quarterback could go out there and throw an interception, but he could still go out there and make up and throw
the next play.
for a touchdown. You feel me? Or linebacker, he missed a assignment, or DB getting burnt, give up a touchdown, but he could get an interception, they'll overshadow that. So like, I feel like that, like being a kicker, like that's really kind of hard, because like one kick you miss, they might say you just sorry, you suck, and woo through it. So like, having a goldfish memory is really, really, really strong to have and really good to have. But how you feel about Schoon? Schoon a little, he got a little emotions about special teams and stuff. So, and like you with him a lot more than I am, and I love Schoon. But like, how do you feel about him as a coach?
No, he's awesome. Special teams wise, he knows what he's talking about, and a lot of the team meeting, he doesn't have much time. He tries to get a lot over to us, but he knows what he's talking about, and all the schemes he has works. I mean, you look at South Carolina when we drove that fake where, hey, if these backers bail, it's a free first down, and Oscar got it. So little things like that, like he's smart, and obviously he's taking a role on as well, working with the defense a lot now. And so when we do see him, he talks about that as well. But special teams wise, he's very locked in and passionate about it. Yeah,
I love that about Schoon. Like a lot of his stuff do translate to actual in-game stuff, like as a backer, like the approach phase and shock and shed. So he does have a lot of things, and I think he's a very good coach. I think he's a good all-around person too, as that. Lucas, how much trust? Coach got a lot of trust in you. That Miami game, you went out there, missed the field goal, and he let you go out there and kick another one. That says a lot about what he thinks of you and the expectation of you. And like, how do you feel about that going into next season too?
I think with having conversations with Coach Golding, even before the Sugar Bowl, he sees every drive ending in 3 points or a touchdown. He wants points no matter what, and so he's going to take those opportunities. And even seeing the Sugar Bowl, I mean, I broke the Sugar Bowl record and my own record for those 55 and 56 field goals, and that just shows how much he trusts me. And going in the Miami game, even though one kick didn't go my way and I hit the post, I went back and made the other one, and showing, hey, no matter the situation, he's going to throw me out there because he believes in me. And I think, like what we talked about in Get Real today, the whole making players trust me on the team, because I'm kind of on my own a lot of the time working while you guys are doing stuff as a team, and showing in the times I can in team runs, like building the trust of you guys, saying, hey, I'm going to work my butt off to show that I'm here to do it no matter what.
Yeah. We already spoke about it, but like going out there to kick is like far ones and breaking your own personal record, do you get like a little confidence, like, oh, I know I'm going to make this, or be like, do you practice going from kicking that far, or like the things like you do to even like to get the opportunity, to even get there?
I know in practice wise, I'll usually start close and move my way back kind of every day we kick, and I think in those games it adds adrenaline, and going out there just being confident and making that first kick, it's like, oh, I got this, like just a good starting block for that game. Like, hey, I got this, let's go do another one. I want as many as I can.
Like before, like let me go, because I don't be out there with y'all, because what is like a game day prep you do before like the games and stuff, like to get ready and stuff?
So I usually eat the same thing. Every meal I usually get the same stuff. They obviously have the pasta and all that. I'll get that, just the basics of that, and then I'll go back to the room, shower for the second time before the meal, and then come back down and be ready to go get on the bus and visualize, just see myself doing what I think I'm going to do during the day of making kicks and how I swing, and just now listen to music, kind of just do my own thing, getting in the zone, and then comes game time, I just do my normal warm-up. Classic warm-up I do every single day for it.
You don't listen to music before game? That's kind of crazy. A lot of people do, though. But, like, a lot of people don't either, though. So, like, your little thought process, do you just, like, want to be in a clear zone, or you don't want to be too high or too low?
I think in that clear zone. So I'll listen to music on the way to the stadium,
Mm-hmm.
but then during our warm up, I don't listen to anything. I'll kind of just get my mindset ready and usually I just kind of jam out to whatever they're playing in the stadium. Sometimes they play some good things. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, it can get terrible sometimes. I feel like for the very much hype games, they go up and they get in their bags for the music, but like for like a little regular game or not a very much hype game, they just play anything out there. I don't be liking that. Coming from Western Kentucky to here, like, do you feel like it's more pressure on kicks since it's not a lot more people like eyes out there, or do you still like feel the same as kicking, like during your process?
For me, obviously being at Western, we would play big teams. Like my last year there, we played Alabama and Boston College, and they were all sold out. Obviously, Alabama, no one's stadium really competes that. I mean, ours is better though, I'd say that. But I treated everything I did there as I do now, mindset-wise. Of no matter, hey, it doesn't matter who's watching. It doesn't matter if there's one person or a million people in the stands. I have to treat it the same no matter what, because my job at the end of the day is to make a kick every time I'm out there.
Yeah. It's kind of, that's a lot of things, like as a football player or just as an athlete in general. Like some people like bring their standard down because they hear, and some people bring their standard up. So just having like the same mindset going out there to kick, that's like, I respect you for that, because, some people could get up for games, like, LSU game, people go, oh, LSU, then you go to play,
Like
somebody
Washington
else.
State this past year.
Yeah, like that's what happened. We went out there, thought,
We're just going to steamroll them. And
and that was probably one of our hardest game of the year, so like, let's talk about that Georgia game, like at Georgia. You didn't go out there and have really no time to, like, I don't think you had an attempt to kick except PATs. Like, how do you feel about like games like that?
Obviously that game, when we had it pretty much the whole game until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And throughout that, I'm just kind of always being ready, whether it's, hey, third down, I might kick a field goal or touchdown kind of situations, and just being ready at any moment. And those are valuable points just as much as field goals. I didn't get any field goals, but I got 5 extra points or however many it was, and that adds value to the team. And obviously that atmosphere alone was something that was awesome, just being there. And obviously you could feel the momentum switch in the fourth quarter, and it was unfortunate, but I mean, we got them back at the end of the year. So
you got to have your man, a partner, to put the ball down. My boy Oscar Bird, the grown man. How do you feel about Oscar, and like, what's your relationship?
No, he's awesome. We lived together. Lived together last year, and now this year, for my last year, we're living together again. And he's just awesome to be around. Obviously he's from Australia, and so he has that kind of banter, as they say, joking around with people, and a lot of people don't understand it.
Yeah.
And him being next to him in lockers, like, you get him, but some guys just kind of get offended sometimes, and it's honestly kind of funny seeing that, because he's just joking around.
Yeah, he does. He's a very playful person. Very playful person. Like, does he play a lot at home too?
He does a lot of joking. Like, he just makes random jokes all the time. I'm like, I can't tell if you're serious or not. Like, sometimes it's like he made a joke about, like, Tom Luke saying something about me, and I was like, are you serious? And he's like, no.
Nah, he's like that.
You're getting me wild up thinking something happened, and then nothing did.
Yeah. Coming up, we got Louisville in the NFL stadium. You always show out. I don't know, like, it's like a, for me personally, but like, how do you feel about like kicking it in another NFL stadium, or just, a little exciting, because many people not able to even to get there, to be blessed to even be able to play there. How do you feel about the first game?
No, obviously, like you said, it's a blessing to be able to be in these situations and go play at these stadiums. And I learned a lot last year playing in a big stadium every single week, just to take it in. Like, when I'm done warming up or just walking in the stadium, just looking around. Everyone there is there to support you, and you're playing in a situation where a lot of people dream of playing in, and to be able to do it, I've learned there's times I've kind of took it for granted and just been so focused on the kicking aspect I don't really soak it all in. And so just opening week win against Louisville in the Titan Stadium is just something that is awesome to do.
Who do you look up to, like, as a kicker? Like, what was like some people you looked up to, or just athletes in general?
Obviously, I was born in Boston, so I'm a Patriots fan, so looking at Tom Brady and his mentality of how he went about things is something I've always kind of followed, just because he's one of the best to do it. And guys like that, and McGregor in the UFC world, just his mentality of kind of speaking stuff into existence, I've learned has helped me a lot. And kicking-wise, didn't really follow kicking much when I grew up, to be honest, until I got to college. And a guy I work out with back home is Matt Gay. He kicks for the Raiders now,
Yeah.
and he trains with my same kicking coach. So every summer, I'm gonna go kick with him like 2 weeks actually.
Yeah.
And just being around guys like that have helped me kind of just nitpick. Hey, what do you think about this? Or what is it like? What did you do in college that helped you? And just having those guys around has helped me a lot.
Yeah, just be able to
Just
learn
learning.
from just learning. That's great. What are some things you do outside of just football, like a hobby, or you like, you know, you want to get away from football, want to get away from everything? What's something you just put you back in your zone?
I've gotten really big into golfing this past year.
Golfing. I've been trying to get into golfing.
We gotta go play.
All right, we can go do that because I've been really trying to get into golfing, but like I went to Top Golf and I'm like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit the ball. Like I don't want to be out there hitting the ball for 1,000, hitting it in the woods, in the water, and all that.
Now, it definitely is a tough sport, but it connects to kicking a lot for me. And just my mentality in kicking is swinging contact, and I can correlate that into golf because I'm trying to hit a little ball far. And I do that a lot. I watch soccer. I play soccer when I go home because I grew up doing that, and so that's something. Probably the two main things I do a lot.
Yeah, I remember you told me like you really wanted like a football player at first. I remember we was talking about that. And he was like, "Yeah, I just ended up just start kicking footballs and stuff." So
My mom made me. Actually, freshman year of high school, I didn't want to do it. Sophomore year, they made me do it. I didn't want to do it, but I just did it for their sake, and I enjoyed it just because it was different than soccer. But was going to play soccer in college. My senior year, finished football, and went and played with the pro team my club had for the whole spring semester, and football still wasn't a thought in my mind. I graduated in like June of 22. Still didn't know what I was doing. Just going to go try to play soccer somewhere, and then the Western Kentucky offer came, so I just took it.
That's what it was. It was good to have my guy, the most famous kicker in the nation, go down to Ole Miss history. It was good to have you, Lucas.
No, thank you guys for having me on here.
Hotty toddy. We'll see you next time.
Hotty toddy.